So I just want to talk today about the stuff I'm doing with the Australian Curriculum for Science. And one thing I think it's a bit different is I've got like these overarching ideas that go through all the way from, they call it foundation, which is like transition, all the way through to year 10. So patterns, order and organisation. My name's Tash Colson. I work at Centralian Senior College here in Alice Springs. The main lessons I teach this year are Year 10 Science, Year 12 Food and Hospitality, Year 11 Biology and Year 11 Maths. The questions with the balloon rocket prac will be more, because it's a design prac, it'll be more like guiding. It'll be more sort of, how is that going to work? What if we had another balloon? What if we added some weight? So there'll be more open-ended questions to get them start thinking. What force was driving it? So how did it get to that end?
Which one?
So what? Yeah, so it was the air sort of going out that way that's propelled it along this way, hasn't it? Yep. The hardest thing to do is to think about what could be a mechanism for that just to undo itself. But it was perfect. You had the right idea. You had the right idea. That balloon to go that way, then the other one to go the other way. What do you reckon, Jack? In terms of planning, I've been teaching 10 years now and I still do a lesson plan. Like I can't go into a lesson without knowing what I want the students to get out of it. So if I have a clear idea on what I want to do, then I'll set tasks that are appropriate to that, and then there'll be student outcomes at the end. So even though I've been teaching for so long, I'll still plan, what I want to do so the students then get out the learning outcomes that I want them to. Can anybody tell me how that prac demonstrated to us how Newton's third law worked? Who'd like to help me out here? Yep, Marlene? Yep. So the force of the air going out of the balloon, what did that do to the balloon? Yeah, absolutely. So we had that force has an equal and opposite forces. This year I've been lucky enough to be part of the ACARA pilot, which is the science pilot for the Australian curriculum, which has evolved some really quite intensive workshops where we've planned units of work and we're actually planning tasks. With that information that I get from the pilots, I then bring that back to my school where as a team of our science teachers, we talk about what content that we're going to work with to best suit the needs of our students that we have currently. As part of my work, I've had to make up a 5-week unit, and so I've done evolution, which is our next science topic that we're going to do. So I've just done a program and I've just done some tasks. As part of my role as a science pilot, I sort of come as I don't want to use the word expert, but somebody who has some knowledge of the Australian curriculum, and by writing the program for my fellow science teachers to then use in class. So from the knowledge that I've got from workshops on writing tasks for diversity of learners and differentiation of tasks, I then make up the tasks to give to the colleagues, and then they then run with those as a team, because it is collaboration, like we all work together to get the end product. But hopefully what I've done gives us all a bit of a starting point. Do you think maybe there could be too much writing in the task? Do you think there's not enough scaffolding for this one? Do you know what I mean? Like if you gave that to a student, do you reckon they'd be able to run with it? Or the topic that I've planned on evolution draws from the work they did in semester 1. So we covered the hereditary, which is like genetics, which then just flows really nicely into that natural selection, into evolution. And then we've also, last semester, we also did like science inquiry skills, which will actually help them when we do the practical work as well too. And I think one of another different thing I think that they've tried to drum into us a little bit with the pilots is just that differentiation of tasks. And I find that a bit difficult. So any of your input to help out with anything like that would be great. I think the main thing I do is probably mode of presentation, vary it a little bit that way, maybe open-ended questions for the, I don't know, what do you do for the C4E? You'd probably...
Much more open-ended.
Much more open-ended stuff,
much more structured, answer this, answer this, answer
yeah.
this.
One thing that I'm really looking forward to at the end of the science pilot and the end of the evolution topic is all the teachers actually to come together and we can share all our successes and, even our failures, so we can actually make the program something that students are really going to engage with. And I think me just doing it by myself is one way, but I think the input that I'm going to get from everybody else is just going to make it so much more richer. And that's one thing that I find very valuable.
What systems are in place at your school for sharing teaching ideas and units of work? In what ways can differentiated tasks be incorporated into teaching materials? How do you ensure that your lesson sequences incorporate contemporary knowledge and understanding of curriculum, assessment, and reporting requirements?